In this recording, we will look at making decisions within a script. Okay, so the first option that we'll have a look at is using if. Okay, so sometimes when we're inside a script, we have to make a decision as to what we want to do. The decision can be triggered by quite a number of things. It can be triggered by a user entering a value above or below something that we have set. Can also be a user selecting an option to exit. It could be that the user wants to enter a set amount of data, so we would have to repeat the code quite a number of times, or it can be any other combination of this. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to look at a way of comparing things. Okay, so what we're going to have a look at is comparison operators. So in the script, we will use the operators in orange. So minus EQ is equal to, minus NA is not equal to, minus LT is less than, minus LE is less than or equal to, minus GT is greater than, and minus GE is greater than or equal to. So what we can do is we can evaluate some statements based on what we already know about operators that are used in a script. Okay, so evaluating this, we've got 10 asterisk 4, so that means 10 times 4. Then we have x minus EQ, y, so x equal to y. Then we have 40 slash 5, so that's 40 divided by 5. X minus y, 6 plus 4. X less than or equal to y. 10 minus 6. X greater than y. X greater than or equal to y. And then we have got x not equal to y. So there's various types of comparisons that we can do. That's just an example of some of them that we can actually use within a script itself. So what we have to do is we have to think about how we would go about doing that. And the first thing we're going to have a look at is the if statement. So the commands that we have done so far in the script have followed one after the other. So commands that follow one after the other are known as sequence. What we want to do is we want to do something dependent on a variable in the script. So that's known as selection. So we want to select a different option dependent on a variable that's there. Okay, and if in real life we use if all the time, so we do things dependent on whether something is true or false. So, for example, if I'm thirsty, I will drink water. If I'm not thirsty, I won't. So there's a true or false statement there. If I'm hungry, I will eat. If I'm not hungry, I won't. Again, it's a true or false statement. If it's raining outside, I'll take an umbrella. If it's not raining, I won't. So there's lots of different ways in which we use if statements in real life. So all we're going to do is we're going to use the same logic that we use and we're going to apply it to a script. So an example here, we have got if it's raining outside, take a raincoat. So if you have a look here, we have got the flow of the program coming in to this condition. So the condition in this case is if it's raining outside. If the condition is true, we carry out this task. In our case, it's take a raincoat. And if it's not true, we just bypass the whole thing and we don't do anything. So in programming, we do decisions in the exact same way that we would do them in any kind of language that we speak. So the way that we lay this out in our script is something known as syntax. The syntax, or the way we lay it out in the script, is we use the word if, then space, then square bracket, and then whatever it is we're testing for. We close the square bracket. If then, and then we just do something. So whatever task it is we want to do, if the condition is true, we put it in there. Else, so if the condition isn't true, we can choose to do something else. So we put our tasks in here, and then we close the if statement. So we have fi, so it's just if backwards, and we close the if statement. So that's the general layout of the if command, the general syntax. But the best way to see this is actually to see it working. So what we'll do is we'll look at an example of the if statement. So I want you to move into the scripts folder, or if you're using REPL, just use that and create a new file called ifexample.sh. Okay, I'll just explain what's going on here. So if you remember, we always have comments. It's good programming practice to put comments in. So I have an explanation here of who the author is, the date, and then an explanation of the script. So it's a sample if exercise. The script is going to ask for an age. If the age is 18 or over, there's a welcome message, and if not, it's access denied. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to ask for the age. So we echo out to the screen, please enter your age. And then we have read age. So whatever the user types in, we are storing it inside this variable called age. Then we're saying if the variable age is greater than or equal to 18, then, so if this is true, we echo out welcome to the club. And then we have else, and we echo out if it's not true, club access denied. And then we're closing the if statement. So to go over that again, we have if. So if, we've got the square bracket, and then we have $age. So we're using the variable age that we've read in, and we're seeing whether or not age is greater than or equal to 18. If it's greater than or equal to 18, we welcome to the club. And if it's not, else here, we have club access denied. Okay, so what you have to do at this point is you have to save the file, exit Nano, and then we have to alter the permissions on the file. And what we're going to do is we're going to run the file, and we're going to have both options work. So I have chmod 775. I have called this file ifexample.sh. And then to run the file, I have /ifexample.sh, and it's prompting me, please enter your age. I have said 16. So quite correctly, I should have club access denied. And then running the script again. And again, I'm asked for my age, and this time I put 21. And it says, welcome to the club. So it's operating in the exact way that I anticipated it would. It's checking to see if the age is greater than or equal to 18. If it is, you get a welcome message. If it's not, then you don't get a welcome message, you get access denied. So we're going to have a look at if example 2. So this one, again in Nano, create a new file called ifexample2.sh. So in this example, what we're doing is we're checking to see whether a file exists or not. So we have got echo out, please enter file name, and then we read this variable, file name. And then we're saying if -f, so if the file exists. So the -f checks to see whether or not that actually is a file. So if the file exists, then we echo out to the screen, file exists. If it doesn't, we echo out, file does not exist. So again, if just gives you two options. We're comparing it against -f. -f checks to see if a file is there. If the file is there, it returns true. So if it's true, the file exists. If it's not, the file does not exist. Okay, so now all that you have to do is you have to save the file, come out of the file and alter the permissions to make it work. So here's an example of that. So we have chmod 775 if example2.sh. So we're changing the permissions on the file to make it executable, and then we're executing the file. So /if example2.sh. So it's asking, please enter file name, and I've just put new file, and it's telling me that file does not exist. And then I'm going to run the script again. This time it asks me, please enter file name, and I've put in the name of this file, and it tells me the file exists. So all it's doing is it's checking to see if a particular file with the name I have given it exists or not, and it will give me a message if it does exist, and it will also give me a message telling me whether it doesn't exist. Okay, so that is an example of the if statement. Have a go at the exercises that are there, and if you have any problems, then please let me know.